Class, I have here some pictures which I will give to some of you. But first, I would like you to arrange your seats back to back. The person at your back would be your partner. Right? Tim, kindly pass the pictures to the end of the column. And you too. Please do not show your pictures to your partner. Neither should you face your partner. I would just like you to be like that. Perfect. This is what I would like you to do. Let me see the hands of those holding the pictures. All right. I would like you to describe the picture you're holding to your partner, while the partner draws an identical picture of the image based on your instructions. Understood? Is it clear? Okay. Let's begin.
It's a volcano. It's very high. It's cone-shaped. Clouds surround it. Near it is a church, which only the bell tower you can see. Coconut pines surround it. The volcano is the color combination of green and brown.
That was an instruction communication activity which enabled students to relay instructions to effect good results. You must have noticed that the activity both involved speaking and listening. This is an evidence that it is very possible to integrate skills in one activity. Let's take up the last two oral communicative activities for this episode, and these are communicative games and talking about oneself. Communication games are based on the principle of the information gap. This is where students are put into a situation in which they have to use all or any of the language they possess to complete a game-like task. Let us take up one of them, the story construction. As the name implies, this game urges students to reconstruct stories. They are given different parts of a picture story. They have to reconstruct the whole narrative, even though individually they have seen only a small part of it. This is done because each member of the group has seen a different picture. By talking about their pictures together, the narrative emerges. Let me take you to a class where a teacher conducts an activity of this sort.
Now, class, I would like to divide you into 3 groups. That's A, B, and C. Would you kindly arrange your chairs now? There should be 4 students in each group. Now that you are grouped together, I'm going to give each group one picture. Here. Here. Tim, kindly pass one of the pictures there. And I would like you to study the picture assigned to you very, very carefully. I'll give you enough time to study it. Now that you have studied the pictures, I'm going to make a new group by picking out one student from each of the original groups. So when I point to you, kindly take your chair and transfer to the corner of the room. All right? You? Kindly pick up your chair. And Lolita, please. And Jason, the 3 of you. Now that we have a new group, I would like you to reconstruct the story by describing the picture that you have seen. All right? Okay. Now, I would like each group to tell their story. Begin.
Did you like that? Do you think your students will like it too? I'm sure they will. Of course, you can always use variations to make your students apply the same principle of story reconstruction. Perhaps sample advertisements, poems, anecdotes, and the like. There are oral communicative activities that fall into the humanistic category. These activities are normally underrated and often underused because teachers think of them very easy. We can add sophistication to these seemingly easy tasks by asking students to go deeper in talking about themselves. Instead of just telling their name, age, height, weight, and the like. I'm sure this activity will encourage a lot of discussion among our students. An offshoot of this activity is to make our students share their thoughts about themselves, perhaps extending the discussion to finding out what each of them has in common. This will enable them to cover a number of topics and areas, including musical tastes, sports, and families. It is indeed a positive activity, since it investigates what joins people together, not what breaks them apart. This brings us to the last segment of today's episode, the recap. But before that, let's pause for a station break. Stay tuned.